Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I think I combed my hair before I went on TV. Thank you for joining us. We're doing the last hour and 52 minutes. Simulcast at prisonplanet.tv. Coming up in 50 minutes, we have trends forecaster Gerald Celente to break down the latest developments in society and the economy and where he sees Obama going now that his approval rating is the lowest in U.S. history in the last 100 years since they've been having scientific polling. He's now beating the previous number one loser, Jimmy Carter, as the fastest drop. He's gone from the mid-80s down to the low 50s. And in some polls, he's below 50. Will Barack Obama stage terror attacks? That is the question. And I want to play this one more time. Michael Savage getting it right. There's several of these clips where he's going on the radio and explaining that Barack Obama may stage terror attacks in the United States, or a bio attack and say it's natural, or a bio attack and say that it's man-made, or launch a new war, or further implode the economy. Then I have another clip coming up. Fox News Dr. Mark Siegel on rationing care, saying it is a form of eugenics, which it is. And that dovetails with the White House science czar, writing an 1,100-page textbook for government adoption, calling for world government, CPS taking everyone's children at birth, forced inoculations with sterilization compounds, drugging of the food and water supply. So it's now in AP, New York Post, Fox News reporting on all of that. We also have, again, that USA Today article, polls can affect president's hold on party. And then if you look at the actual poll that they have a copy of, in fact, let's pull that up from USA Today. I want to put on screen not just the article, but the poll that was on the page that came with this. Drudge was linked to it yesterday. I know I asked my webmasters to link to it. I don't know if they did at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there. And you can see the Gallup poll for itself as he is now falling faster and has already fallen further than Jimmy Carter. So that is coming up as well today. Right now, let's go back to your calls. Let's talk to George in Texas. George, you're on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex?
Good.
The thing is, I'm sitting there, last weekend, I was kind of like humble, but I was kind of like, I felt joyful. Not to say celebrate anybody's death, but at the same time, Walter Cronkite had his passing, also Alan Stang, and you got two different people. Alan Stang gave up a lot to warn us of the New World Order, but yet Walter Cronkite became the high priestess at Bohemian Grove and got all this notoriety and fame and sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah, I forgot that part. He has, according to the annals of the Bohemian Grove, that I actually was in here in the office. Oh, here it is. According to this annal, this is the internal annals of the Bohemian Grove, sent to me by one of the widows of one of these guys. I didn't know what a rare book it was. This goes for over $1,000 on eBay, one of these. Volume 8, Volume 7, 1987 to 1996, 10-year volume. Weaving Spiders coming on here, and it says Walter Cronkite is the high priest here. But I guess he's not the high priest this year, while the Christian conservative leaders meet and have homosexual sex and worship Satan. And, hey, that's their business if they want to do that. It's just they're not very Christian. Anyways, pretty interesting. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, and also, like Alan Stang, I know he was on your show. He was a guest on your show, but I know he passed away, and I looked at a lot of his work. He could have been very easily sold out, went along, played along, became big as Dan Rather, but I'm glad he took the path he took because
yeah, that's right. I have him in the stack, and I was digging around at the first of the show, and because I had like 3 stacks and couldn't find it, or I was going to eulogize him at the beginning of the show. But, yeah, tell folks about Alan Stang that don't know. I mean, he worked with Edward R. Murrow, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I heard Mike Wallace. I hear about.
Yeah, but I think he worked with both of them. Both of them came from the same outfit, yeah.
But the thing is, history is going to probably exalt Alan Stang for his work, but I think history is also going to vilify Walter Cronkite.
Can you imagine all these big Republican billionaires and corporate CEOs dressing up like women and doing stuff in the woods together? I mean, it's just, look at that one. That's who wants your guns right there so they can have their way with it. And then look at these guys. They're really good at it. Well, and, I mean, I'm not even against gay people. But if these Republicans, want to be gay, that's their business. The problem is that they want to set up their police state and their New World Order system. But just look at these guys. I mean, zoom back in on that for folks at prisonplanet.tv. I mean, that is really, really, really upsetting. Can you imagine getting in bed with one of those people? I mean, God almighty, that sounds like hell right there. But that was heaven to Walter Cronkite. I hear you, sir, and I appreciate your call. If I have to, I'll reprint it was on News with Views. Again, I told my webmasters to link to it this morning. I don't know if they did. DV Kid's article about him. Just, that looks like hell to me. But according to Walter Cronkite, that was a little piece of heaven. I mean, old men dressed up like women. My God, that sounds about as disgusting as it gets. I mean, I don't get these guys. Even if they like men, what is it about they like old men? That call it bigoted. I just don't find men attractive, and I don't find old men attractive, especially. There's a bunch of them dressed up like women in here. And it's not just dressed up like women. I mean, they get real serious. Like, here's a photo of the cremation of care they took. And you'd say, oh, well, that's just stylized. No, the whole thing's occultic, and they take it very, very serious. And I guess there's the high priest. I guess that's Walter Cronkite right there. They burn the effigy of the child. Here we got Mr. CIA, William F. Buckley, the fake conservative. Here we've got, I'm going to find a Walter Cronkite in here in a minute. I mean, here's another one of them. I mean, look at this guy. Get caught in the dark with him. That's the heir to the Reynolds fortune. They're all a bunch of fairies, folks. I mean, just look at them all. I'm a fairy. I'm a eugenicist. He's like, yeah, I may be a fairy, but I'm putting fluoride in your water, pal. You're not laughing at the fairy now, are you? I'm going to find it here in a moment. Oh, I'll never find it. You guys, look in the bibliography in the back and help me find Walter Cronkite. Oh, God, here's more of them dressed up like women. Talk about nightmarish. I mean, that has got to be the most nightmarish thing ever. Here's somebody dressed up like death who brings the body of the baby over to burn it. Next to some other creature. So there you have it. Here's all the old men in their leather on their motorcycles. They like buzzing into San Francisco to enjoy themselves. According to Richard Nixon, that's what Nixon said. When am I going to, somewhere in here, I'm going to find, there's Bob Hope. Okay, we're going to find, there's Newt Gingrich and Bush Sr. Let's give folks some video of them. He always said don't call him Junior, but in this he's called Junior. With next to Newt Gingrich. They're not in drag there. They hadn't gotten dressed yet for the evening. Nothing creepier than old weirdo rich men dressed up like women nellying around chasing young prostitutes in the forest at night. It's so incredible. Yeah, find me Walter Cronkite. I know he's in there. Okay, enough about Walter Cronkite. Enough about Walter Cronkite. Here's some more about Walter Cronkite. Here he is at the right hand of Satan. Walter Cronkite, our good friend. Here he is.
Well, join me. I'm glad to sit here at the right hand of Satan. Let us hear the peal of a new international Liberty Bell that calls us all to the creation of a system of enforceable world law in which the universal desire for peace can place its hope and its prayers. Thank you.
We would like to bring you a message from the First Lady of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Good evening and congratulations, Walter.
I wanted to show that video. We didn't have it punched up for some reason. Back it up. I want people to see Walter Cronkite calling for world government, sitting at the right hand of Satan, also known as Hillary Clinton. And again, this would just be a joke if the guy didn't dress up as a druidic high priest. Here it is.